problem. So my name is Lina Khalifeh. I flew all the way from Jordan yesterday. I had a little bit jet lag. So, you know when you fly more than like 2, 3 hours and there are kids, running all over the plane, you hate, having kids or getting any kids. Like we had one kid, I don't know, we were taking off and he started running all over like everyone was chasing after him. And I had seriously to, take off my seatbelt and go and just, carry him, put him back in his seat. I'm like, you listen to your mother because his mother has no power. And I hate that about, like seriously, he was running and we were taking off. So yeah, we need to discipline the kids. That's what I think. Yeah, I really believe that. I'm sure like when that boy, he was like 3 years old. I think when he's 15, he's gonna maybe commit a crime or something. Yeah. Will be with that mother. So I'm the owner and founder of SheFighter, the first self-defense studio started in the Middle East and now going globally. And in the Middle East, they tell me, so do you teach our wives how to beat us up? That's what you do? You teach our women to beat us up? That's what men tell me in, society, in the country. But I tell them it's up to them if they want to beat you up. So I just, I just teach them and then they have to, do the other things. So I added that picture to scare all of you today. I'm joking. The next picture is not scary, that's why. So cute. So you can see I was a different kid since I was a little girl. I always wanted to play soccer with the boys. I was totally different. I didn't like to stay inside and play with Barbie. For me, Barbie was so boring. So I wanted to stay outdoor. So the boys didn't want me to stay in their team because I was a girl. And that's how I got to introduce about what's the difference between boys and girls. So as you can see, that boy is, actually he was being bullied because he eats a lot. And that's me in the pink short. And then I decided one day to, to get my revenge from that big bully. So I got a soccer ball, I put it on the ground, hit it so hard, and it smashed directly into his face. For me, I was like, yes! But the boy was like, follow her! And all the boys started running after me. And when you were a kid, you think that that's it. Your life is done at that moment. You're gonna die. So I started running so fast, really fast. I tripped and I fell on a bottle, broken bottle of glass. I cut my lip and blood were all over the place. Of course, the boys were cowards, so they ran away. So my parents took me to the hospital. I was so wild that I bit the hand of the doctor, so he did not stitch it really well, so it left a scar. And that scar reminds me of the fight against gender inequality and injustice. So my parents had the best decision. I know that South Korea is the land of Taekwondo. How many of you has black belt in Taekwondo? Raise your hand. 1, 2 is South Korea, come on. I expected everyone will be like, yeah. 5 Dan, black belt. So how many of you have a black belt in shopping? All the girls will be, yeah, of course. We love to shop. So my parents enrolled me in a Taekwondo school. It was the best decision. When you enter that Taekwondo school and the smell of the feet, the smell of that feet? It's like my parents, even when they drop me to the training classes, they're like, we're gonna park really far because the smell is going all the way till here. So I don't know how you can handle it, but I tell them, I think we got like drugged or something, like we get addicted to the smell. So it was the best, not the smell was so bad. After that, I realized like what I'm doing in my life, the smell is so bad, that's after a while. But when you are in it every day, the smell is so normal. Like your body smell, it's the same smell. But I did not have the same smell. It was other boys. So, so they enrolled me in a Taekwondo school. I got my black belt 3 Dan. I won 20 gold medals, 3 of them international. I was so good in Taekwondo. My goal was to compete at the Olympics. I was training so hard just to win and compete at the Olympics. But God has different plans for me. I got injured in my knee. I had to operate. The first time I did an operation did not work. So I spent almost 2 years like not really walking straight and my back hurt. and I had to stop fighting and training. Of course, at that time, I got really depressed. I felt down, as a lot of athletes feels when they have to stop training. And I felt that God had failed me. Because when you work so hard, that's what I learned, you can achieve things. But now I got an injury, like, what do you expect me to do? I can't do anything else. But Taekwondo, I did not know anything else. I was so bad at school, so I'm like, oh, my future is ruined. But later on, I had something inside of me. I always trusted the process of life and God. I said, maybe it's the best. It's for the best. I do not know. I still do not know yet, but maybe it's for the best. So I just trusted the process. And with time, I was studying French literature at the University of Jordan. And why I studied French literature, there were not enough majors at university, so I was like, okay, I'll pick French literature. Let's speak French. Let's go to France. That was like, yeah, and I became really fluent in French, and I really took it really seriously. Because that's the martial arts concept. It's just, if you want to do something, you have to do it from your heart, to be really committed and give 100% of it. That's what I learned through martial arts and Taekwondo. So one of my colleagues got bruised, her father and brother hit her, so she came to university with bruises on her face, and I asked her, why don't you report, why don't you do something? And she said, women are weak, we cannot do anything. And I've been hearing that word, women are weak. Like, seriously, women are weak? Women are not weak. Women believe that they are weak, but they are not weak. Women think that they are victims, but they are not victims. So I decided, since martial arts has given me a lot of self-confidence, I want to give that to other women. So I started training self-defense at the basement of my parents' house. And then, after a while, I got a lot of people coming to the training. So my father told me, you get out of the basement. You cannot stay in the basement. Leave. So I had to leave. And sometimes it's good that someone is pushing you just, to change with life, like the injury first, then my father kicking me out of the basement. I had no plan to start any studio. But, everything falls into it after that. You just have to trust the process. So I was working also as a marketing coordinator in a company. I got fired from that company. So I'm like, okay, I saved some money, so I'm going to start SheFighter. So I managed to start SheFighter in 2012 with a small studio, 100 meters square, and everyone was against the idea. They said, women will never defend themselves, do not invest your money in that business, it's never going to grow. And people, they just like to just, make you do not, follow your dreams or your passion. Of course, I'm stubborn since I was, a baby, and I never cared about people's opinion. I just cared about my vision and my goals. So I started SheFighter in 2012, and after a while, I discovered that I'm so exhausted being myself coaching all the time. I cannot give the same quality. So usually when you have a problem, some people keep complaining about the problem forever. But for me, I give it like some time, and I have to find a solution. So I was thinking about the solution. And for me, the solution is creating a level system where I can train trainers in order to grow, and they can start helping me in the training. So I created the SheFighter level system. It's exactly like different belts. You start with white, you go to yellow. It's the same, up to the black. But you start with pink, silver, black, gold, and then master level. And the coaches, the trainers, has to go through the same level in order to train. So, so far, with the level system, we have certified more than 500 trainers globally, and we have trained more than 18,000 women all over the world. So that's like part. You can see we have moms, kids again in the training. A lot of kids all the time. That's a SheFighter team. And we have different age groups. We start from 4 years old up to 75 years old. We have a grandma in the training. Like she comes and she's like, I have been, looking all my life for a self-defense studio. I'm like, all your life? You're sure? you're 75. And she's like, yeah, give me the gloves, like she. So I give her the gloves, and I told her, do you want some help? She's like, no, I can do it with my teeth, like, she closed it. So yeah, I love her. She's amazing. She has been training for 2-3 years, and she believes in women's self-defense even more. She's trying to spread it with the older women, but it's not working. They're lazy. They like to sit down, eat, and talk about other people. That's mostly the culture, or socialized. So I do believe in one thing. I believe that you do not, as an entrepreneur, have to chase the money. You create a really solid system that works, and the money will follow you as you grow. Because people want to invest in you and to buy your service if you're really good. You don't have to go chase others. You create something so perfect that people will come and follow, and they say, you know what, I need that too. And they contact you. So you don't have to worry about the money at the beginning. Something else, you have to find your passion. Do not settle for less. Keep looking. Because honestly, you're gonna keep working all your life with this work. Either you love it, or you just keep complaining every single day, I hate my job. Just leave it. Do something you really love. If you still don't know what you love, look for it. It might take time. So I do believe in passion. I do believe also, if you have an amazing idea, do not think that people will come and support you. They'll like cheer for you. Yeah, amazing idea. No, of course not. They will try to put you down most of the time. So get ready to create also enemies as you grow. For example, with the SheFighter, now I'm gonna be talking about the challenges. Of course, as I started, I did not have a lot of enemies. I did not build a lot of enemies. I do have a big support, but at the same time, as I started growing, people start noticing she's growing. We need to shut her off the market. She cannot take over the market. Then they started to sue me. Then they started to do anything to stop me from doing what I'm doing. So make sure if you're creating enemies, you're good. You're changing the culture. You don't have enemies, there's a problem. If you do not get sued at least 2-3 times, there's a problem. You're not changing the system. So people sometimes ask me a personal question when I give presentations. And if you have the same question, I'm going to answer it to you anyway. When was the last time you wore a dress? So they ask me, Lina, when was the last time you wore a dress? So if you have the same question, that was the last time I wore a dress. And my parents forced me. You can see that. I did not like it. And it's pink. It's like SheFighter, but it's okay. You can see I'm not that happy. So I got sued once by a lawyer who happened to be a lawyer, whose wife was training at SheFighter. She used self-defense against him. So what she did, she punched him in the face. He sued me for teaching her how to beat him up. So I was like, is that guy joking? He's taking it into court? He was so serious. He wanted to shut down all SheFighter because he doesn't want to empower his wife or women. So I had to deal with it legally. I hired a lawyer, and we have to solve it legally. And sometimes as you grow, you don't have, one thing before I move to that. When you have a problem, leave it to some time. Like, do not just give a decision directly on that time. Just give it some time. Because in that moment, you're so angry. You're not thinking properly. If you give it like 1 week, you start looking at the problem from different angle, then you solve the problem. Just give it some time. If you have a problem right now, just say, it's okay, I'm gonna leave it some time. And you're gonna solve it with time. You don't have to really worry about it. So how I solved that problem, I was so angry when I got, like that document from court. I'm like, people do not make you focus on your vision or goals. That's really sucking my energy. So what I did, I left it to time, and I hired a lawyer, and I calmed down. I did calm down with time, and we had to solve it. And my lawyer called him, and he's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want so you can just, stop the case? And he's like, I don't want my wife to come to SheFighter. Like, okay, problem solved. Done. So his wife didn't ever come to SheFighter. And sometimes you have to find like a shortcut to solve the problem. You cannot go, like fighting with people all the time, because I'm also fighting with the whole system. So that's one of the challenges. We get a lot of threats. I have visited the police station 6 times that they got really bored from me. Like, you again? I'm like, yeah. So what's up this time? I'm like, there's a guy threatening me. And I'm not afraid from men usually threatening what I do, because I expect that. As I said, I'm changing people's lives. I expect that. So that's part of the challenges. For me, challenges equal opportunities. So as you get more challenges, you learn how to solve them. That's how you grow. If you do not get any challenges, try to get some challenges in your way. We've done a lot of seminars. We're going to do also today 2 seminars here. A lot of national seminars. These seminars were with Syrian refugees. We have done a lot of training with Syrian refugees, orphans, women with disabilities. We have even done something new that was in 2018, where we empower cancer fighters, just that they can feel really empowered from inside. So we teach them how to punch while they're sitting on their bed. So you can see they're smiling. He's smiling. That guy, his name is Hamza. He's under 18, and he really enjoyed the training. So sometimes you have to find other ways to also fight a disease or a problem like cancer. So we have done a lot of also international seminars. In Italy, they were smoking too much, so I had to give them a punishment. Like, okay, 50 push-ups. Do not smoke when I give you a break. And they're like, just one smoke? No. They smoke. It's so crazy. In Hong Kong, you see there's a guy, he's so happy I let him inside the class. So they enjoyed the training. And this is in Lebanon. I don't know, suddenly I had an army guy here. They just like to join. Men like to join. I don't mind. It's called SheFighter, but I don't mind to get guys coming to the training. Portugal as well. Holland, we have been in more than 29 countries worldwide. Other than the challenges, we have a lot of achievements. One of them, President Barack Obama has, it was exactly that way, like, where's Lina? And I suddenly like, who's Lina? So I was at the White House, and suddenly they didn't tell me that President Obama will start talking about me. I'm like, can you just tell me before? Like, I was just texting, and suddenly he's like, where's he? Like the teacher in the class, like, hey, leave your mobile. It was exactly the same. Like, where's Lina? I'm like, shit, okay. and I stood, and he said, Lina is a leader of social change. I'm like, really? Yeah, okay. And my father has different opinion. Lina is a big troublemaker. So it's up to you. Either you believe President Obama or my father. So I believe my father. He's, like he raised me. I have trained actress Emma Watson. I have taught her not to use the wand, when she fights Harry Potter. Like I told her, use your fist. Or like, I don't know how to use my fist. Like, yeah, use your fist. I gave her, so we're good friends. I have also, that injury was not from me. You see that injury? That was not. So I know that 15 years ago, or I don't remember, how old am I had a dream of competing at the Olympics, but life directed me in another path. And because I created SheFighter, I got invited to hold the torch at the Olympics in Pyeongchang. And for me, that's an amazing achievement, way more than Hillary Clinton and I'm joking. And they're like, really? Yeah. So because I started to realize that SheFighter one day can be at the Olympics. I do not have to follow any kind of martial arts. I mean, Taekwondo is not who I am. Taekwondo is what I do. It's what I actually do and I can be good at. But who I am is someone else. And I created SheFighter, and I'm so proud of it, to spread it and make it an Olympic game one day. So I came to here, South Korea last year. It was amazing freezing. It was minus 12. I was just, freezing and trying to get some heat, from, sorry, what was that? Yeah. So I was so good that I decided to become Bruce Lee, I actually bought his yellow suit. Do you know the story of that yellow suit, why he wears like that? You never knew why he was wearing like that ridiculous. It's so, martial arts has this traditional uniform, right? Everyone wears. But he was that California boy, and he wants us to change all this, stereotype about martial arts. So that was a training suit back then. It's like leggings and tank tops. It's the same, but it's so ugly. It's like yellow. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it. But that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to show people you can still do martial arts while you are wearing other things. So it was so, funny. I actually went to a costume party wearing like that. And, police stopped me. They thought I'm crazy. Yeah, so how can you, help support SheFighter? You can either join the movement and become a trainer. We have now a course for training of trainers. You can, if you're an organization, partner with us. If you have lots of money, you can franchise it. They're like, no, we don't have. Or you can follow us now on Instagram at SheFighter or our Facebook page. And to conclude, I'd like to say to all women, how many women in the room? Can you raise your hand? Okay, so be the kind of woman, when you wake up every day in the morning, the devil says, oh crap, she's up. Thank you so much.